Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. Okay, all you fans of the kissing booth, now is your chance to get more Kissing Booth #2. And we're here with Joey King and Joel Courtney. Talk a little bit about, in your character's estimation, what do you get to explore in this version that maybe you felt was left out of the first film?
Yeah, I'd say for me, Lee Flynn goes through a lot of growth in the second movie. He learns, honestly, like boundaries. He learns how to create boundaries for himself and like how to align to people and like what it means to be in a relationship and what it takes to be in a relationship and to make your special other person like feel like the only person in the world, which is a hard lesson to learn.
I think Elle goes through a lot of changes too. She deals with jealousy for the first time, but also kind of feelings of her own on like somebody that comes into her life unexpectedly helping her through a hard time. So she's like torn a little bit between this crazy love triangle of the person that she originally fell in love with and somebody that's just completely different than that person, but showing such signs of being a huge support system in her life.
And you guys answer the age-old question, can a male and a female be good friends without having to go to a sexual relationship? And this movie proves it.
That's right. We love that about this movie.
Oh yeah. The friendship of Elle and Lee is just, it's foundational, you know, like it's about this French, it's about these like two friends and like all the drama that's going on around them. And yeah, just, it's beautiful.
You can't have an Elle without her Lee.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because the movie is called The Kissing Booth, so let's talk about the concept of kissing. How much can you really tell about a person when you kiss them?
If they're a terrible kisser, that's for sure. I feel like you could tell a lot about a person. I mean, we were just kind of talking about how if you really have feelings for somebody, that first kiss will really tell you a lot, for sure.
I think that you can learn a lot from someone like in the way that they kiss, I would think. Like if they're gentle, if they're tender, if they're like strong and like super forward. It would take a lot of like reading into, I think, but I think you could definitely pick up on someone's character.
Okay, but do you call out a bad kisser or you just chalk it up and go, okay, never kiss them again? Would you critique somebody and go, hey?
I'm on the latter. I don't think I have the bravery to be like, hey, you're a terrible kisser. I think I'm just like, okay, never mind.
I think I would do the same. I think it would be one of those things where like you need practice, but I can't tell you that, and I don't want to be the one practicing with you. So
I don't want to be the one to tell you that.
Hey, speaking of practicing, I want to know about how you guys practice, because let's face it, we all have a skill set that we're kind of good at. Being on one of those dancing machines, I don't think that would be kind of in my forte, but you guys have to pull it off to make it look believable. How much did you really have to practice and get into it?
So much. Oh my gosh. Hours and hours and weeks and weeks. Yeah. And also throughout the entire shoot, we would have like, because there's so many like little dances in between, like we would have to rehearse on our weekends and all that stuff too. But we rehearsed for 2 weeks prior to starting to film. And then during filming, we also had rehearsal time.
Yeah, it was crazy. We learned so much choreography, and it was one of those things where like I actually bought new shoes. I went through a pair of shoes and like
me too. We both did. I went with you.
Yeah, we went shoe shopping together because I ruined the soles of one of my shoes from so much like tapping and stepping and so many movements and stuff like that. Honestly, one of the most difficult things I think I've ever done for character on camera, but also one of the most rewarding because I can look back and I'm not very good dancer like naturally myself. So when I see myself do something like that, I always get very proud of myself.
Let me ask you a last question before they yank me away. And both of you are out of the high school years right now. But if you had the opportunity to go back and talk to your high school selves about love and all the frustrations and friendships what guidance would you say to yourself about surviving high school?
For me, I think that everybody has to make mistakes in order to grow and change. And I think that, you know, everything that I've been through with relationships and just with like feelings towards myself, I don't regret any of it, just because I wouldn't be at all who I am today without going through those trials and errors. So, I mean, the biggest piece of advice I would tell myself is like, try not to be afraid to just be who you are, be as happy as you want to be, or just be as sad as you feel like you need to be sometimes. Just let yourself feel the things you got to feel, but also just like keep doing you, girl. You got a lot to learn.
I would say for me, I didn't actually date anyone in high school. I would say I would probably just tell myself like, just wait, like it gets better. High school is not to be taken that seriously. You are young. It's a good time. Like mistakes are made. You know, and that's okay. Like Joey said, like if we didn't make the mistakes we made, if we didn't make the good decisions that we made, we wouldn't be the people we were today. So I'd say just like hold on, like it gets better.
Well, I can't wait for Kissing Booth 3, The Pandemic Years. I think that's going to be awesome. So Joey, Joel, thank you so much. The movie is called Kissing Booth #2, and this is Scott Orlin. Until next time.
Thank you, Scott.
Great to see you. Bye, Joey.
Bye, Scott.